Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won, and one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game: surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
When I see Latavius Murray with the ball in his hands, I think that he's a dangerous player. He has good speed, good presence to run inside, nice toughness, and good vision that once he gets past the first line of defense, he can make a guy miss and turn it into a bigger game.
On 2nd down, Cook. Whoosh. And they're able to get this one across the 35. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 19 carries, 79 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. It's quite a unit, #1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll run it. Here's Cook. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'7" quarterback out of Memphis. It's Paxton Lynch.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Blunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing, Cousins. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, it's Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
While Washington, Kirk Cousins had the pleasure of throwing to Jordan Reed at tight end for the last few seasons. And now that he's moved to Minnesota, he has Kyle Rudolph, who may not be quite as athletic as Jordan Reed, but still has excellent hands and knows how to make plays in the red zone.
Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point is always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First down, here's the run with Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on first down. Cook stripped. The ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
And those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
don't they?
They
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On second down, here's Lynch. And that's complete. It's Ellington. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the gun, it's Lynch. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Out ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
Out of the gun, Lynch. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Ezekiel Ansah. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On third down, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's out right at the 25. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. It worked very well there for a first down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. From midfield now, here's Lynch. Throwing deep for Galladay. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
To throw again, Lynch. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Final play of the half. It's Lynch. Throwing deep for Galladay. And now another one thrown incomplete. So we hit half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They run it for the first time with a backup move. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. The quarterback, Paxton Lynch, he's the focus of our players' spotlight. And I guess right now, as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be, exactly what you've said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Yeah, they disrupted already for 3 INTs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
On second down, Lynch. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
On third down, Lynch. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Play action now. Cousins. Open man as Thielen is complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Lynch looking to throw on second. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Lynch. Caught. It's Ellington. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Second and 10. It's Lynch again. And he dumps it off to Blount. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, complete. That's Powell. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And out now come the Vikings. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point.
Here we go now.
I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Single. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
One last shot for Lynch. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Minnesota, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.